Stephanie Lanham with the Rock and Roll Horror Show here with Herschel Zahnd.
Hello.
First of all, congratulations on your not one, not two, but three awards that you got yesterday.
Well,
You,
what was the third one?
you got the one for Purified by Suffering, and then you got the
Fire Award.
yes, and then Jason got the Green Fire.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
associate.
Well,
with
I'm really proud of Jason for that because he's talked quite a bit about not ever really getting any recognition for his
yes.
own work, and it was like I just had this thought when he was up there accepting it. I was like, that's you. That's truly just you being honored for what you do, and really proud of him.
He's worked hard, and then Purified by Suffering. You said it best yesterday. He made it during COVID, and it never really truly got the recognition it deserved.
Yeah, it was a labor of love project from start to finish, and we shot it in 2019. And it was, I know several of Jason's videos have tried to kill me legitimately. And I mean, I remember the first night my car got broken into, and I had a very sizable check stolen out of the car because I accidentally brought my checkbook to set. So kids, don't bring your checkbook to set. But yeah, my car got broken into and vandalized, and it was one of those videos down in a dank basement because that's where Jason always likes to live, in these wonderful live locations that probably have more mold than they have air. I probably lost 2 years of my life making music videos for Jason. But it was this aesthetic that was masterful. We couldn't have art departmented if we tried. And it was just one of these natural locations, and everybody came together, and freezing cold water, very lack of costumes in some instances. We had, bathtubs full of water we couldn't keep warm. I mean, I mean, we had an actor on, the cross there that was tied up for hours. So, I mean, it was a heavy project, and yeah, it just never took off. We edited it during the top of COVID, and when it came out, there were the riots, continuing disease, and there was no opportunity for it to thrive, and we've never really gotten it out there, and it's just wonderful to get it to actually be seen and appreciated for what I think is a masterpiece that it is.
It really was. I remember when I was sitting there, he had sent it to me and had me watch it, and I was just like, wow. Everything that they were talking about, they brought it to life. Because you know how sometimes you do those videos and you have all these ideas that you want to put in there. You actually put everything in that video, down to the bathtub scene, the guy on the cross, the person that jumps out from the mask when when the inspector is going downstairs looking for him. And I remember going there. I think it was either the second day you guys were filming or maybe the third, and it was so cold and so treacherous. Those steps.
Yeah. This would have been late November, early December of 2019.
It's freezing.
So it was really cold.
But so, Imaginarium 2023, you've officially been a panelist for how many years now?
Oh my goodness, 4 or 5 years. We've had workshops and panels, and yeah, Imaginarium is just one of these wonderful places. They say it a lot, but it's a lot like family. You know everybody gets used to you, and I think one of the things about the Fire Award was just, I don't hear a lot from people, that like my work. I'm a lot like Jason, and I just put it out and I move on to the next thing. So to have anybody think of my work as something that inspires them, it means a lot to me personally, because I've had a feeling, for many years, if something that I've done touches one person or reaches one person, well, that's enough. And it's a nice thing. It's a nice thing to say, but at the same time, you want to hear that people either like it or even don't like it. I mean, if you tell me you didn't like something that I made, great, that means you watched it, right?
Right,
So
it.
you feel like you're just kind of screaming into the void. So to have, Eric say those things about me that he said last night was just very rewarding on a lot of different levels. Because I do want, everything I do to inspire people, and I've always tried to give back in the form of knowledge, because I have this crazy breadth and depth of knowledge about certain things. I'm a lot like Liam Neeson. I have a particular set of skills, and I want to share those things. So to be able to do that at a place like Imaginarium is wonderful, because I can go learn from people, and people can come and learn from me. And I just truly enjoy that aspect of it.
That's one thing that I like, is just the networking of everything. Like you'll talk to this person, and they know 5 different people of something that you want to do. Like Dwan, for instance. Like he's
So
wanting to
proud of
start.
Dewan.
I know.
I mean, I think I was actually more excited for Dewan than I was for Jason.
But he started networking too, and then he goes around and he sits in these panels. He makes friendships, and I think that's what the convention's about. It's not just going to panels and listening. It's creating that networking and friendships that's going to last for years.
Absolutely.
That's what I love about it. Last year, I can't say this enough, and it was right after my reg, and everybody was just so what's the word? Just so doting, I guess maybe that could be a word. Like anything that I needed, they see me walking, and if I was limping a little bit too much, to be like, "Hey, have a seat." Like it wasn't like, "Oh, you can't sit at our booth," like that type of thing. It's like a big family.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that at any convention I've been to. And I've been to quite a few of them with Jason now, so it was nice. So, what is your favorite part about Imaginarium this whole weekend? We're on day 3, almost over.
For the last couple of years, I mean, it really has been the opportunity to perform at Imaginarium. I get to do my swing big band Sinatra thing, and I love that Imaginarium is a place. I made the joke in the show this year, welcome to Imaginarium, where the genres switch so fast you'll get whiplash trying to keep up. Because we had, this pop rock, metal band in Sleep Aura that came on and opened the show, and then you bring me up, and that followed that preceded by a magic act.
Yeah.
So we had a magic act, and then this pop metal band, and then me doing swing and Sinatra and that era, and then Jason with his goth singer-songwriter thing. It's like the weirdest build show ever, but it oddly fits here because it is a kingdom of misfit toys of creatives, and I say that with absolute love because I'm definitely a misfit toy. And I love that about this place, and I love that it is a place where you can get recognition. You can meet people like Terry Brooks and Mr. Stoker. I don't want to mispronounce his name, so I'm not going to. But I love that you can have these big names, and also at the same time we're honoring people that you maybe have never heard of, and you can hear stories from people that you've never heard of, and talk about deep ideas and also surface level ideas. So there's a little bit of something for everyone if you're willing to come here and look.
And
it's not readily apparent.
If you're willing to have an open mind about things, because one thing that I've learned with panels going with Jason, because unfortunately Jason is very headstrong sometimes, and you hear different ways to do so, different ways to market, different ways to like the podcast thing. I stepped in there for just a tiny sec because I'm trying to create my own podcast and do interviews and stuff, and stepped in for that. And some of the stuff they were saying, I was like, you know what? I never would have thought of that if they hadn't mentioned. It's one of those like sparks in your eyes type thing, or mine. It's like that light bulb goes off.
And at the same time, I attended Josiah Sindel's Film Fuel panel on financing for film, and I didn't learn necessarily a lot, but what I got was a confirmation that the things I'm already doing are on the path of working, because he's done it. So right. It was a confirmation of what I already know, and then a few extra tips to try something different. So that's another thing that you can get here, is understanding a deeper level of things that you might already be doing that are working. We got to get away from this idea of right and wrong. It's working and not working. Because what's right for me may not be right for you. It might work for me, but not work for you. So if we start to think about things like that in that context, I think we're going to get a lot farther, a lot faster, and we can all do it together.
Yep. So going back with your film and everything, I understand you just came back from doing that 12-mile.
The Ocean 7, yeah, 26. Don't cheapen. Actually, it was about 30. Yeah. Good friend of mine, Steve Leach, became the 96th person to cross the Molokai Channel, otherwise known as the Channel of Bones, the Kahiti Channel, in Hawaii. So he swam from the island of Molokai, from West Molokai to Oahu. And that, if he did it point A to point B, which is impossible in open water, it would have been 26 miles. So just under a marathon. But according to the GPS and the captain, he actually swam about 30 miles in open water overnight in the Pacific Ocean, which was...
Sharks.
We didn't see any sharks, thankfully. We did see a lot of Portuguese man-o-war and a lot of big water. I think it was a little rough for sharks to be up at the top. They like calmer water.
Right, yeah.
But it was still a harrowing night. And there was actually an incident at about 2 a.m.
Oh, no.
He's swimming, and we're kind of having a conversation, he and his wife and the captain and I, and we just hear this and screams. And we're like, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh God, did he actually find the tiger shark? Because that's the big scare. And we find out that no, he just ran into the shark deterrent, which was this electrical box that sent out electrical signals to mess with sharks' brains. But if you touch it, it's like getting hit with a 10,000-volt cattle prod.
Oh.
And he found that a couple of times. And the really hilarious part of the story was the captain looked up and said, "Well, it's nice to know that thing works." They never actually had it do anything. So there you go.
Silver lining.
Yeah.
Guess it works. Oh, wow. So, what do you have planned for the future? Like, are you working on anything right now?
Taking over the world. Yeah, so I've got a couple of short films coming up. We're in post-production for the documentary, which is called '07, The Channel of Bones.
Okay.
Hoping to have that out around October. And we are in pre-production for the next leg of his journey, which is going to be called '07 Homecoming. And we're going to be going to the UK. He's going to do the English Channel. And if we get the weather window, the North Channel, which is from Ireland to Scotland. That's
Wow.
English Channel is tough because it's a big S curve and there's a lot of currents.
Yes.
But it's been done enough. It's really an accessible swim. I won't call any of these swims easy because it's swimming for 12 hours.
It's not easy.
With no ability to touch a boat, no ability to touch a float, anything like that. You're just under your own power in a cap, trunks, and goggles. That's all he gets. Everything that he gets is either thrown to him with rope or handed directly. He's not allowed to have any human contact during the swim. So it's extraordinarily challenging. It's a shorter swim than Hawaii, but a little bit colder water. We get to North Channel, we're talking 50-degree water, and the time that we're going to be there, huge jellyfish season. So and this is box jellyfish. They're very vicious. Not quite as bad as Portuguese man of war, but as far as jellyfish go, they're really frightening. So we've got that on the documentary and angle, and then I've got several short films that we're in development on. We're getting really close on a couple of the scripts, so I'll be making some announcements about that coming up.
So, I know everybody's dying to know, when are you and Jason going to work on another video together?
It's in process right now. Actually, we did a location scout the other day, and we're just basically getting a date together, and we're going to be popping off on another one. It'll be a smaller one. I think one of the shortest ones, because Jason doesn't know how to write short songs. Most of his songs are 6 to 7 minutes long, and I think this will be the shortest video we've ever done, coming in at about 2.5 minutes. But it's going to be really hilarious. I think we're really going for a horror comedy, I think, almost aspect.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to die 17 times. The last one that we did, Over the Under, I had some trauma.
Look, I'm going to send you the bill from my therapist, because I did too. I remember sitting there when we first watched it, and just, if you haven't seen it, it's...
You should go check out JWA TV on YouTube. Check out all the videos. We've got 10 or 15 at this point that we've done with Jason, but he dies in almost every one of them. So I've watched my friend die probably 30 or 40 times a video. So it gets a little traumatic. But yeah, this one I don't think he's going to die, and I think we're just going to have a lot of fun poking some fun at things and kind of poking the bear a little bit, because he just doesn't know how to not do that.
He doesn't know how. He said it best. He was like, I have to be the center of attention, and it's not going to be in vain. He said, however way that I have to do that. Or, that one saying, he says, I'm not here to fit into your world. I'm here to create my own. I think that's...
And I think we've really been able to do that. We're closing in on this anthology that he's really... Our entire working relationship has been about him wanting to create a DVD set. And unfortunately, DVDs have died, so I don't know how that's going to look. But we'll eventually be able to release this anthology of stories that he has told through poetry and song, and I've gotten to tell through visual and moving images, and it's a wonderful collaboration that I'm happy to have had.
You guys really do work together. The videos that you guys have, I absolutely love them. I remember when me and Jason first became friends, he said, yeah, go and check out my channel, JWATV, and I watched every single video. My favorite one, absolute favorite one, and it doesn't get a lot of recognition either. It's Mourn. That one was beautifully scripted, like just the girl dancing in the
Fun fact, that's actually shot at the same building we did Purifying Love.
Yes, that's what he said.
And
it's like that heaven and hell aspect.
It really is. But the really cool thing about it is that theater once was a huge concert hall for Louisville, and the Beatles actually played in that space.
What?
Yeah, I believe maybe even Elvis. So there's a lot of music history in that little balcony. Unfortunately, the bottom, the orchestra area of that theater is gone, but the balcony is still there, and the projector. So you actually see the old 35 millimeter projector in the video. He's kind of watching the idea. He's kind of watching the performer, but he's standing at the projector there, and it's original to the space. It's from the 30s, and
That is beautiful.
it was just such a wonderful video. And Valerie Cannon came along, and I've known her. She's a great theater director and choreographer and dancer that I have worked with many times. And she came in and just knocked it out of the park with one of her students. It was just a wonderful opportunity.
It was romantic but sad at the same time. It was beautiful. And I remember Jason, he said, yeah, Herschel said he wants to do something pretty. And I was like, well, he definitely did. That's gorgeous. But thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Last question. Out of every single panel that you've been at, which one was your favorite?
Oh my. I think the screenwriting panel, the How to Improve Your Screenwriting panel, was very fun for me. I don't consider myself a writer, although I've written a lot. And just to know that I'm in good company, I can hold my own, and I can have these conversations with people who are option screenwriters and that are mainstream writers in their own right, and they're doing the work that I can sit there and hold my own and have that conversation, and also give information to them and to the audience was very edifying for me. As an artist, I suffer from the insecurities as every artist. And you don't always feel that, right? I mean, sometimes you see these people when they're out there. I mean, Jason's a great example. If you see him perform or you see him when he's on with fans of his music, you'd never think the man is insecure.
No.
Then you get behind closed doors and it's a different story. And I think all artists are like that. All artists have this circle of, I'm on top of the world, everything's great. I don't think maybe I made the wrong choice. Life is terrible. And then it's this big cycle that we go through. And the more that we're together, the more that we play on each other's strings, I think that loop gets short circuited. I think it can actually be short circuited. I think if we all support each other and stop the backstabbing and this guy's doing this because of that, and why don't I get that opportunity? If we just supported one another and came together and more often, do it every time, more often work together, we could break that vicious cycle of artistic regret and what did I do with my life.
The one thing that I like most about this convention, it's not because I am very insecure and I have stage fright big time. But sitting on the panels, like I feel like I'm able to talk. Like they actually listen. They're just not, like, oh yeah, well that's fine, but we're gonna do it this way. No, they listen, they take it in, and then they give their feedback, and it's nice to have that in a world that we live in where it's not so.
And even the disagreements are, amiable. We had some pretty. We got into the AI discussion and we got some pretty heated disagreements on the panel, but it was still respectful and nobody walked away angry. And we've got to get back to that where we can disagree with somebody over important things. Like you can have fundamentally different outlooks on life, but if we can just agree to disagree and know that this area is going to happen over there and this person's going to exist over here, how much better off would we be?
Agree to disagree, like just being able to, I guess, coexist, like not focusing on all the negative and like, oh, that person did that, like what you said, but okay, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from that?
I can disagree with you and you don't have to be that person.
Exactly. And a lot of people need to remember that. So. But, well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Go check out Purified by Suffering, jwatv.com. No, it's not. It's YouTube. It's not .com. No. It's just YouTube, JWATV.